word from Hello World. This is Mona, your Unity teacher from the Hell. Today, I will teach you about the coroutine. Coroutine is a useful technique if you want to trigger an action which runs for a certain amount of time. Normally, functions have only one starting point. If you trigger a function, the code will be run until it returns an expected value. What if you want to change something over time? One solution for this would be using update, which is called every frame. But this might be not the optimal solution for many cases. What if you want to call it only for 1 second? Or if you want to call it only once in a second? Then you don't want to track every single frame while the game is running. A coroutine allows you to spread tasks across several frames. In Unity, a coroutine is a method that can pause execution and return control to Unity, but then continue while it left off on the following frame. So you start a coroutine and then wait for the next condition and you can start from there. So coroutine maybe feels a little bit like a thread. They both allows you to have more than one task running at the same time. What is the difference then? Coroutine is still a single thread. It is like a single worker works on different tasks. Thread, on the other hand, is having multiple workers working on different tasks. So let me show you how to use coroutine. So I will set the example of fading Unity UI image. So let's first add the image. For convenience, I will split the view into the scene and the game view, like this. And then press Shift to change pivot. Let's fill the image, then make a C# script. So to use the coroutine, you need to use the keyword IEnumerator. Coroutine needs yield return states. If I write yield return null, the red underline disappears. Here, I will write a code which will change the opacity of the image for 1 second. Let's set a float local variable, then call it t for the time. For 1 second, so while t is smaller than 1, I will change the opacity of the UI. First, I want to assign image in the inspector, so let's set a public image. I will call a new variable called color and then set the color and alpha, then assign it to the image color. So I will set the alpha in the color as t. Then let's add the time delta time, the actual time each frame, to the variable t. Then yield return null will wait until the next frame, so coroutine can be called every frame for 1 second. Then I need to call the coroutine. To start the coroutine, I need the function StartCoroutine. There are 2 ways to call the coroutine. One is calling the method. The other is call the function's name by using string. They will do the same work when they start the coroutine. Then I assign image in the inspector and hit the play button. You can see the opacity of the image changes each frame. Both ways of calling does the same thing when the coroutine is started. And then what is the difference? With calling those functions, you cannot stop the coroutine, while if you assign string, then you can stop it. Let's try to stop coroutine when I press A on the keyboard. No matter how many times I hit the button, calling the method name doesn't stop the coroutine. On the other hand, if you call the function by string, the coroutine function could be stopped, and you can see the UI doesn't change the color anymore. There is another way to stop coroutine. which is saving coroutine as a local variable. It requires memory, but you can save a coroutine and stop it by calling it like this. Not only calling coroutine each frame, you can also write different returning conditions. For instance, if you write wait for second for 1 second, the coroutine will be called each second. You can call many different types of yield return functions. So here I will explain the most useful functions. Yield return null, wait until the next frame. Yield return new wait for fixed update would call the next fixed update. Yield return new wait for second would wait for a certain amount of time. Yield return www is quite useful if you want to do some networking and download or upload the data from the web. Yield return new wait for end of frame, wait until the frame is end. So that was my lecture about coroutine. If you liked my video, don't forget to subscribe and press like, and see you on the next video. Bye! Bye bye! Bye!